What's up, superstars? In today's DTF artwork tutorial, I'm going to be doing something that I've been wanting to try for quite a while now. We're going to be using a mixture of powerful tools to enhance and prepare our designs for DTF printing. But here's the twist, guys. I'm going to need your feedback at the very end, so I want you to let us know if you're going to hate or love the results. And by the way, we're going to try to keep everything free except for Adobe. The last thing I want to do is pay for another tool and subscription. But first and foremost, let's go and talk about the artwork. We went ahead and generated this artwork from Midjourney. Let's take a look at this. We used some impressive prompts to create this skull and aviation design. But one of the things that you guys can see about this one is that it has actually been cut off, because we are limited to what the AI can do. It wasn't able to complete the whole image here. There's always going to be room for improvement. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this back into Canva. We're going to be using their generative fill tool to fill in the rest of the design to complete this. So we're going to be taking this design. We're going to be getting a design like this where it is complete. I have all the edges, all the mechanical things that are involved in this print. One thing that you're gonna be realizing is that it did lose some quality here. Because of Canva, it does lose some quality once we import the artwork in there, but we're gonna go ahead and take it out of Canva. We're gonna enhance this again, and then the next thing that we're gonna be doing is a black knockout and also a halftone effect in order to achieve an awesome print like this. You guys can see this is a big difference from here, and then finally to here. And this has halftones, it has a black knockout, so it's going to be very lightweight and very easy to wear, and it's going to be breathable, and that's the most important part. By doing the upscaling, we're also going to be able to preserve the color and enhance it. The upscaler that we're going to be using, I'm also going to be dropping a link below. It is currently free for a limited time, possibly. It's a good program that we use all the time, but make sure you guys take advantage of it while it's free. Not only that, but we're going to work on some magic, show you guys that black knockout. Make sure you guys save this tutorial in case you guys miss it. You're definitely going to want to tune back in. So let's go ahead and get to the artwork process. By the way, guys, here's the cherry on top. If you guys been following us along on this tutorial, we're actually going to be giving away this free shirt. So you definitely want to watch till the very end, where we're going to be pressing this on the design, showing you how it's going to look, and giving this free to a lucky winner. So again, watch to the very end. Let's go.
Hi guys, my name is John and I'm a graphic designer for Transfer Superstars. And today, I'm going to show you how to use an AI image and make it into a halftone effect that we can use for printing DTF artworks. And for this video, this is the artwork that we're going to be using. And if you look closely, it looks pretty good. It's pretty decent, however, the edges of this artwork are cut off. As you can see, if you zoom in, there's really nothing here, so it would look pretty awkward. What we're going to do now is to get this one in Canva. You can just make any Canva artboard you want, and Canva has this new AI feature that you can use to expand the image, especially if it's cut off. And what we need to do is go into Edit Photo, and then it should be this magic expand tool. Let's click on this one. And when you click on this, there are a couple of sizes that you can choose. You can freeform, drag to whatever part of the artwork you'd like. But for this specific image that we're using, let's go for the whole page. And maybe let's make it slightly bigger, something like this. Then let's go back to Edit Photo, then click Magic Expand. Use the home page and then click on Magic Expand. It's going to load and it might take a while depending on your computer, but it shouldn't take too long. And once this done, you can see now a few of the options I've showed, and we have a couple of options here which looks decent and some looks weird like this. It's pretty weird, but this is the great thing about Canvas, that they give you options, not just one, and you can choose whatever you want and what you think fits best. And if you don't really like any of the 4 options that they showed, you can just go cancel and you can actually do it again and then edit photo. If you do it again and cancel the first one, they should give you another set and another batch of images that the AI generates, and it won't be similar with the first one. It might be slightly similar, but it doesn't really always stay the same. So now it gave us a different set, but this one looks pretty weird. I think this one looks the best among all of them, so after you choose one, click on Done, and you may see that there are like lines that came from the original image. But we can take care of that later on. Of course, let's export this one. Let's download this. So when we are exporting, it might result to a not very high quality version. I mean, you can always export it in high quality through Canva, but of course, some people don't have access on a premium account. Actually, what we're going to use now is an app called Upscayl. This app upscales your image using an AI. So what we need to do is only drag it right here, and it's like the image to the general photo. You can even do double upscale, so it upscales twice as much, but we don't have to do that for this exact file. It looks pretty decent already, so let's just scale it normally. Then this would also load. Once it's done loading, it'll show you a preview of the original one and the upscaled one. You might be able to see the difference, but there's a huge difference. This one is a little blurry, it's a bit hazy, and the new one looks pretty sharp. It's totally quality. It's now a lot better, so after you upscale, there's no need to save it. If you select the Set Output folder, it should already be there, like this. The next step I want to do is drag it into Photoshop, and of course, there's this area that needs to be cut off, and we don't actually need to do that anymore. If we're doing a black knockout, that part will also be removed. Of course, it also has a black background in it. Let's make a duplicate of this one and hide the bottom one. This will be a backup. Let's right-click on the main copy and duplicate the layer. The destination document, we select New. This way, it'll create a new tab and duplicate the artwork on a different artboard. So in this artboard, you can now turn this into grayscale, and it'll have a pop-up like this. Just select Discard. Then let's go into Image, Adjustments, and Levels. So this part, the white areas, are going to be the ones that will remain after we do the black knockout. We want to give as much detail to the original artwork so that we can have it still recognizable after the black knockout. Something like this. As you can notice, the white border that's very visible is now completely disappeared. Then let's go to Bitmap. Preferably, we would have to turn this into 300 dpi before we proceed. But since it's already here, we can't turn it into 300 dpi since it's going to mess up the original file. And this one is that it won't mix that much. Let's keep it at this file for now, and let's go to the Method Halftone Screen Press OK. Since we have a pretty large image, it's around 53 inches. We can experiment with the types of frequency that we can use. The higher the frequency, the smaller the dots are and closer they are to each other. So let's try to use 35. You can't really notice it. You can barely see them, and they are so small, so we don't really want that. If it's too small, less than 3 pixels, it won't really stick to DTF press. So let's CTRL-Z to undo that. Then let's go back to Mode Bitmap. Halftone screen, press OK. Of course, the shape should always be round. Let's try using smaller ones like 10. Now 10 is a lot better. The halftone is definitely a lot more visible. We can stop at 10, but of course, let's try to see if maybe is better. So let's undo and go back to image mode and bitmap. Press OK, maybe let's try to do 5. 5 looks too big, and we don't really want it to be too big. A lot of the details might disappear. Yeah, something like this. A lot of the areas right here, they're almost barely visible anymore. So let's Control-Z. Bitmap. Yeah, maybe around 11. I think 11 is pretty decent. We've kept a lot of the details in here. So let's Control-A. Let's go back to our main layer. Then on the bottom part, let's use Layer Masks. And once the layer mask has been created, you can go click Alt, left-click on the mask, so it becomes white. That means we are on the mask layer. It is currently active, so we can paste what we copied right here. Control-A, Control-C, and then go to the main layer, then press Control-V. So now that it's copied here, this will become the mask of our layer, and if we turn on the visibility, it will now look like this. We're going to press Control-D to deselect the selection, and it might look pretty weird right now. So what will happen is if we place it on a dark background, or let's say a dark shirt, it will now look like this. So the difference is last time it had a black background. It's not very breathable, and it will show if even if you use a dark shirt, the contrast of the shirt might be different from the ink. So it's still going to be pretty visible, and this way, it's a lot better. Let's say you have a purple shirt, a dark purple. It's still pretty. It looks pretty great, so it will still be usable. And I just noticed that there's an area right here. We don't need it. You can click on B to go to the brush tool. Click on the layer. It's still pretty good. Let's say you have a purple shirt and make sure you are on the black color. The black color on a mask will remove the areas if you paint on it. So if you actually press X and revert it to white, if you did anything wrong, you can just turn them back. But of course, we don't need that, so let's remove those. Let's remove this area as well. So now it looks like this. Maybe this one too, yeah, so it now looks something like this. It's pretty great. We're almost done here, so even if you have a dark blue sort of shirt, it would look pretty sick. But of course, we won't have to do the background if we are going to save it now. The last thing we want to do is click Alt-I-R. Let's trim the empty pixels so that our size can stay as accurate as possible. Then Control-Alt-I. We want to keep this around 15 inches for the shirt, and the resolution is at 300. Press Enter, and let's check back if the quality is still the same. All right, that's pretty great. The quality is still pretty good, and we are actually done here. So the final step is to save this one. You can do a PNG, but we prefer PDF since PDF would really contain a lot of the quality of the artwork. And once you save it, it should be good to go.
What's up, superstars? I'm back. Thank you guys for watching the tutorial where we knock out the black on this design. And make sure you guys bookmark that. If you guys are missing any steps, you guys can revert back to it. But again, guys, this is the Black Knockout effect. It makes this nice and lightweight. And as I promised you guys, I'm going to be doing a giveaway at the end of this video, so watch till the end. Now let's go and get down to the pressing. Now what we're going to be using for this project is in a Fancier Studio 15 by 15. This has a slide out effect, so it makes loading shirts a lot easier. And it also has this interesting padding on the bottom here, which is kind of like a smooth surface. Usually they have a rubbery, grippy surface, but this allows the shirt and garment to move fairly easily. So I kind of like using this so far with the instances that I've used it at. So that's just one of the bonuses here. Now the t-shirt that we're going to be using is a Bella Canvas 3001. This is one of the most popular t-shirts that they come with. And we're going to be using this for the sample that we're going to be pressing on. Let's do some quick measurements of this Bella canvas. So from armpit to armpit, I've got about 21 inches. And then from the bottom to the neckline, I've got about 24.5, 25 inches. So those are the dimensions on this tee. So let's go ahead and pull this bottom platen out so that I can easily load the shirt. All right, now it's nice and loaded. I don't feel any wrinkles or anything caught in between the way. We're gonna push it back. We're just gonna do a quick pre-press. So you don't even have to do the whole extension. In a few seconds, I can already pop it. It resets back to 7 seconds, which is what I initially set it at. Let's go ahead and pull this design back. Now let's go ahead and press this. So I'm gonna fold it in half so I can get a crease line so I know where the midpoint's gonna be at. I'm gonna come here, use my 4 fingers. That's gonna give me roughly about 3 inches from the top. And then I'm gonna use my fingers to kind of adjust this. So now that it's in place, everything is centered. I'm gonna go ahead and load this in there. Grab our Teflon sheet, place this over the transfer. Let's go ahead and press for 7 seconds, 300 degrees, heavy pressure. All right, let's go ahead and pull this out. We're gonna take a cloth and we're gonna go through all the details. This is extremely important when you're dealing with things that have really tiny details, tiny words, and in this case we have a black knockout, so you got some really tiny standalone details that you do want to transfer through. This gives it a 3D effect. So Everything is important in this case. So let's make sure we press it down. Let's let it cool. Now this is my favorite part. We're gonna go ahead and peel our transfer. This is extremely exciting for me because it is a black knockout effect, and I always love to see how it looks with the black knocked out. So let's go ahead and take a look. Let's pull this out. Gonna grab a corner right here with my hand here. Wow, look at that, guys. Look at all those details. Very, very nice. Gonna turn this around. Let's go ahead and do a second press. All right, let's take a closer look, guys. Look at all the details. I'm gonna start off with the teeth. Look at that, very, very nice. Again, guys, this tutorial that we showed you was based off of this artwork. Of course, you guys can adjust how you guys want it. We made some adjustments here. You can always turn up the black, turn down the black, just to kind of make it work for you. This works for us. Looks really nice. All the details are there, and of course, lightweight and breathable. There's no heavy print on the front. If you guys like this print, make sure you guys give it a like, thumbs up. And of course, I'm gonna be giving this guys away for free. So what I want you guys to do, I'm gonna switch it up this time around. I want you guys to put down where you guys are from and what's your favorite blank t-shirt to use. So for this is a Bella Canvas 3001. Drop a comment below and let us know what brand and style you like to use. I'm Phil. I hope you guys like this tutorial. I'll catch you guys on that next video, guys.